Imagine this. You're sitting in your office and your boss slams into your office demanding the information from the Smith merger that took place 6 months ago. He's not wanting the merger information. He's not wanting all the vendor, all the documents that you have readily available to give him. He wants the meeting notes where you all discussed why you wanted to even do that merger in the first place. If you're like me, you have trouble remembering things like that. What we're going to do today is we're going to take all of the chaos that is your normal life and we're going to turn that into clarity. And we're going to do that by taking all of that information and putting it into artificial intelligence that's going to become your own personal chief of staff, your own personal digital assistant that's got all of these answers in a matter of 10 seconds or less. Let's get started. Let's take a look at this. So we're going to do this. We're going to accomplish this today with 3 almost free, I'll explain that in a second, almost free tools and in 4 easy steps. So the 3 almost free tools are a regular notebook. I use a spiral bound notebook. You can use a legal pad. You can use a moleskin notebook, whatever you want to use. That's not important. Something to actually just capture all of this stuff as it's happening. You can use a digital notebook, an iPad or something like that. Will still work fantastic if you skip step 1 and you kind of merge it with step 2. That's okay. I do a hybrid model myself. The second thing that we're going to use is a Google Doc. We'll talk about that. If you don't know how to get to that, we'll talk about that a little bit in this video as well. And the third thing that we're going to use, software that we're going to use, is NotebookLM. Now, everything is free, and the reason I said almost free is a spiral bound notebook is going to cost you, I'm assuming, $1, $2. So almost free. That's the only thing that you're going to pay for, and the pen that you use to write. The Google Doc is free, absolutely free. The NotebookLM is free. So the processes are the steps that we're going to go through, 4 steps. You're going to capture, you're going to process, you're going to sync, and you're going to engage. Let's get into this. The first thing that you're going to do is you're going to start carrying around a notebook, right? You're going to take this notebook. It is very simple. You're going to capture everything that comes across your desk. If you place a phone call to tech support, you're going to write down, I write down multiple things when I'm on a phone call. I'll write down the company name. I'll write down why I called that company. I'll write down the time that I called and the date. I'll write down the person that I spoke with, and then I'm going to write down any other details that come out of that phone conversation. Did they resolve my issue? If not, what actionable items? What are they going to do? And what do they need for me to do in order to resolve the situation? So then I've got all of that in my notebook. I've got all of that recorded, document. The next step, we're actually going to open up a Google Doc, and we are going to take all of that information, and you can do this once you get rolling in about 10 minutes per day. You're going to take all that information out of your notebook and you're going to put it into a Google Doc. Now, let's look at a Google Doc. If you have never used Google Docs, we can do a tutorial on that. Drop a comment below. I'll be glad to help you personally, or I'll make a video about it. If you have a Gmail account, and that's one requirement that you're going to have, you're going to have a Google account. You log into Gmail, and once you get in, this would be where your mail is. You're going to go to gmail.com, and you're going to go over here to this, looks like a Rubik's Cube with no colors. It is actually an app drawer is what they call it, I think, the official name. You're going to scroll down to Docs. So you're going to open up Google Docs. Again, this is absolutely free, and you're going to click on Blank Document. I've already created something for the sake of this video, and so we're going to open up this Daily Note, and that's what you're going to name it, Daily Note. All right, so we've got our Daily Note up, and we've got it. We've named it Daily Note. You're going to notice I've got multiple dates, and you'll notice the kind of information that I've got in here. I've got meeting notes. I've got monthly reviews. I've got information about things that went on in the office. I've got information about the copier not working. And I've got multiple dates. I'm going to talk to you about why I do that in one document here in just a minute when we move on to NotebookLM. At this point, we're getting information from our notebook into our Google Doc. Let me tell you something else. The beauty of this system, it doesn't have to be neat. This is a lot neater than my normal everyday Google Doc, my daily notes doc. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't matter what your fonts are, it doesn't matter if they're big or large. It doesn't have to be formatted clean because we don't necessarily care. We're just trying to get all of this information in, and we're going to let the AI do the sorting for us and get it into a format that makes sense to us. So The next step and the next tool that we're going to use is NotebookLM. We're going to do step 3 and step 4 with our third tool, which is we're going to sync that information from our Google Doc with NotebookLM, and we're going to engage that, and that is where, my friend, the magic happens. Let's get going. So to access NotebookLM in that same Google document, in that same browser that you're logged into Google, you're going to open up a new tab, and you're just going to type in Notebook, if I can spell, LM. That's all you're going to do. And you're going to hit enter, and Google's going to give you these results right here. You're going to click on this right here. You're going to get a page that says try NotebookLM. Let's go ahead. You can read all of this and look through it if you want, but for this video, we're just going to hit try NotebookLM. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to open up a notebook. So we're going to hit create new notebook. When we first open the notebook, we're going to click on Drive. And we're going to find that daily note that we were just working in. This document right here is going to show up as available to add as a source to our NotebookLM, to our notebook. So we're going to click on that. We're going to hit insert. We're going to give it just a second to process that information. And by the way, NotebookLM can process thousands of pages. So it doesn't matter that your Google Doc is growing, that's fine. And if you noticed, I don't know if you did, and I should have mentioned this, when we first added a source, the reason that we put all of that information in our Google Doc is you can only, on the free version of NotebookLM, you can only have 50 sources. If you were doing a Google Doc for every day, you would exhaust that 50 pretty fast. With that being said, NotebookLM will process one long document all day long, and it'll show you where it got the information. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to rename this NotebookLM, and you can call it Chief of Staff, you can call it Personal Digital Assistant, you can call it whatever you want. We're going to call ours Chief of Staff. Okay, now we are about to get to the magic. Very quickly, you got 3 panels. And we're gonna look. I've got a video series coming out that's going to be like a master class on NotebookLM, and what all you can do with it is pretty amazing, and it's pretty simple to use. It'll yield very good results, but it, like a lot of things, is garbage in, garbage out. For now, this left column is your sources. That's where you add all of the information that you want NotebookLM to reference. Right? It's not an AI that's going to go out on the internet. It's only going to reference our sources that we give it. So it's your own personal AI. Next is your chat window. And then here's what all we can do with it. For now, we're going to stick to these 2 windows. Let me show you the magic and how this is pretty amazing. So we know that 6 months ago, the copier broke. We need to know the number. I can't remember the guy's name, and I can't remember. Apparently his name was Stan, but I can't remember his phone number. And so you might have found this, you may not have in your Google Doc. But we're going to go over here to our NotebookLM, and you're going to say, who do I need to call to have the copier fixed? Give it just a few seconds. All right, Stan at the office supply store, here's his number. All right, that's one thing that we can do. Now, I know that I've got information about the Skyline project in this Google Doc, okay? So we're going to type in just something very simple. We're looking for notes about this. Tell me all about the Skyline project. So your boss comes in and he's asking about details about this project, that all of this information, maybe it's spread out over 15 different documents in 15 different places, but because you took notes and you got it into this system, now you've got it all together in one place. You can copy and paste this and send it out to your boss, or you can just sit there and have a conversation and answer. One last thing I want to show you. A lot of other AIs have a tendency to hallucinate. One thing that NotebookLM does is it gives you the source information. So where in your document did this information come from? You can click right here and it's going to show you exactly where that information was. You can click right here and there's the information that we're asking for. So you've got sources that show, and you can also add more sources. You can add PDFs, you can add receipts. I hope you found value in this video. If you did, I would appreciate a like. I would appreciate if you could subscribe. That would help me, and I want to provide more useful content for you. If you found value and you want to let me know, maybe you're using part of the system, maybe you're using all the system, I'd love to hear from you as to how it helped you out. So have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video.